we are here to talk about what's happening in the stars right now. Hello, Mercury retrograde and all the tech issues in the world.
Kim, you're magical, but your camera's not on.
It's not?
No, mine is though. Hi, everybody.
Oh my God, it says my camera's on. I can see myself. It says my camera's on. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn and see if I can see anything ever. And let's see.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We are going to be in here talking about your signatures. We're going to be talking about the energies. We're going to be talking about the forecast for Q4. We're going to dip into 2025. We're going to be talking about your waste. I know I'm not visible. Okay.
You're hiding, Kim.
I am hiding. I know. We're just going to talk about visibility, right? So, yeah. So
maybe I could mime. Like I'll be Kelly, and then I'll be Kim, and then I'll be Kelly, and then I'll be Kim. Guys, we're gonna just have fun with this.
Yeah, we're totally gonna have fun with this. Okay. So the only thing I can think of is it wants to. I literally have done. What did you need to do when you got in and you did your camera? Right? You did your camera.
I did my camera. I went to settings and I reset my camera.
Me
so
too.
Maybe give that a try.
No, that's what I did. That's totally what I did. Oh, for F's sakes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm grateful you're here.
Okay, I'm going to use, I don't know, it says it's totally plugged in. It says all the things. I'm going to use my other camera, so I'm going to have to face a different.
There you go. Hi.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm in a totally place like I don't want to be, but that's fine.
That's okay. You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. So here we are. I am so in love with Mercury. He's my best friend. It's so good. Okay. We are so good. Okay. We are here. We're going to talk about the signatures. We had asked people to take the quiz. I've heard from some people. Can I tell you something that's really fascinating to me? Most of the people that are involved in this right now are loving alchemists, my friend. Isn't that awesome? So loving alchemists, we love the energy. So what Kelly's a loving alchemist. Kelly Wagner from the Edge Network. We're going to be talking about so many things that involve your visibility. How are you hiding? How the energies as we enter into the later part of Q4 of 2024 and the whole first quarter of 2025, how they are actually going to be suppressing your desire to be seen. Yep. What did you just get? I can't see anything.
Desire. Like I pulled Desire 10 like a second before you just said Desire. So we're in flow in some way. I think we're just getting messed with.
Well, so yesterday we talked about, let's recap for 12 seconds. Yesterday we talked about Saturn a lot. We talked about Jupiter wanting all the things, and then we talked about Saturn asking you how much do you want it. So Kelly, I adore you. Kelly literally and I were in the Zoom room. Zoom wouldn't connect to the live stream. We have no idea why. It's okay. And then we said, okay, we'll go out directly to Restream. I've done this a million times. Nope, didn't want to work. Had to go out. Kept saying he was waiting for the host. Who am I? I don't know. I might be the host, right? I had to cancel that one, set up another one. Then it was asking me to set up on my channels. I've been doing Restream for two or 3 years. This is fine, right? Kelly's box for me. How much do you want it? How much do you want it? Apparently, here we are.
Yeah, right?
I'm on a different mic. I'm on a different camera. It's fine. It's totally good, right? So
we're seeing Kim from a different perspective.
We're seeing me from a different perspective. So what we want to do, now I can see you a little bit better. Prosper. Okay. I love that.
And now I lost you again, but that's okay because, you're back because we're full of prosper. There we go.
I'm just playing with stuff. You're really small on my screen. I was just playing with it. Clearly, I'm not going to touch anything else because clearly I can't do that, but that's fine. We are going to go into those signatures. The reason why I had come up with the signatures and the reason why they're so pertinent right now this week is because you heard me yesterday, or if you didn't, the end of 2020, we were in an alignment of this is the new way. What is your grand vision? What do you want to do for the next 20 years? And so we had that birthing of it. We had that blossoming of it. But we didn't really get to that full trajectory of it until this year, 2024. We took those first few years of trying to figure out like what's going on, what's the story, like how do we get into our rhythm, what do we really want. We were able to shed a lot of things. And so now 2024, like literally this week, it harkens back to that last week of December of 2020. And so the last week of December 2020, I had downloaded, and when I say that, I mean it. I had downloaded the quiz. I wrote a 140-page guide, came up with 48 cards. No, sorry, I'm in the intuition cards. I'm so sorry. That was downloaded different time, different subject. So I'm in the quiz. I downloaded the 6 signatures. I downloaded like 50 pages of results, set up the 12 questions, set up the 6, answers. Like if anybody's done a quiz, they know that it normally takes a month or two. I did it in a week. This clearly wasn't my own action, right? Then tested it. We did all the things, and we've had tens of thousands of people taking the quiz. And we use it for everything. We use it when we talk about leadership. We use it when we talk about the forecast. We use it when we talk about money, sales, how to develop your intuition, your power, how to align with your life purpose, how to really, really be in the energy of your soul mission. And today we're going to talk about visibility. Because we have that suppression over the end of Q4 2024 and the Q1 2025, Kelly and I have been in a few conversations about how are you hiding, how are you showing up. We didn't know why. Now it's all clear. So Kelly, I had asked you earlier if you would help me go into the energies of it so people can feel what their signatures are. We can't see any comments because everything's broken, but that's fine. So if you enter comments, I answered everybody on YouTube. I answered everybody on LinkedIn. Kelly will go to her channels and answer people, and we'll definitely, I'm kicked out of Facebook. It's fine. I think that's going to be my
YouTube channel was pulled down. Like, it's all good. Like, we're like, talk about like blowing it up, but here's what's, again, going back to how much do we want it? We're having all of these obstacles. How many people would have just thrown in the towel for live today?
Yeah.
A lot of people would have just been like, bam, sorry. But we're like, okay, we are showing up and we do want it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So we really, really want it. So when you go and you can take that quiz, it's at yourstarmaptosuccess.com or it's at kimwoods.com. You can go right to the home screen. There's literally take the quiz right in the hero page. It's right at the top. But
it's super easy and only take it once. Go with your gut.
Yeah, exactly. Go with your instinct. People are going to always say to me, it's the between choices. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Because what it's measuring, it's how you enter the world. And that's what Kelly and I are going to go through right now. We're going to go through how you enter the world. So I want you to be able to feel this in your body. And Kelly, I would love to get your feedback on it because I've done this a million times and I've probably forgotten what it feels like. I probably can't explain it anymore. So I'm going to go there. Like I said, there's 6 signatures. Each one has a masculine strength and a feminine strength, but one of them is a little bit more in tune. So this is the whole thing about the new era. It's about how do we use the energies differently and weave them together so we're in that beautiful flow of that gorgeous infinity signal, the figure 8, right? So these are not your signatures. So Kelly is a loving alchemist and I am an intuitive visionary, but Kelly is powerful enough energetically to do this with me. So thank you, my friend. So in order to be able to feel them, if you've gotten wise strategists, I'm going to have Kelly feel this for us. Wise strategists are so incredibly amplified in their mind. They adore knowing things. They love to have the answers. They like literally deliciously, give project their expertise. They are the ones that can help you get from A to B. They love the planning and the strategy and the achievement and the tasks and the doing. You're
showing me an owl with the little glasses and the little graduation cap and a little book.
I love that, right? Like book. So good. So when you think about a book, you think of like it's packaged beautifully, cover to cover, makes so much sense. It's presented in a form, right? So this is where that masculine strength from the top, like chakras on the top, like mind, is really strong. Where the wise strategist wants to lean into, remember we're talking about the new energies, we're talking about like the end of 2020 and where we are right now and going into 2025. It's that feminine flow. It's that ability to be in that full trust of course, this is where it aligns with the masculine because we always like to tap into the strength to draw out what's not as is not as amplified, right? So this is to amplify it. So when we think about going into that feminine for the wise strategist, this is where they want to tap into their inner knowing, their inner voice, their inner direction, their inner navigation. So it's really about going down into the belly to be able to then blossom up and out, to bring the energy up and over for that beautiful, gorgeous, like expansion of the feminine.
You just
Can
showed
you
me a butterfly going from the caterpillar to the like cocoon to that explosion of the butterfly.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. So that's the wise strategist. Now, I'm an intuitive visionary. An intuitive visionary also has
You just showed up like bam.
so intuitive visionary, right? So intuitive visionary is very much in that feminine flow. Like we love to dance and flow and like all the variety and all the things, and we're constantly, it's like if I continue along with that like kind of water spout kind of energy, it's like we're literally the radiance of it. And so we have, it's again upper chakras, we're all about ideas and plucking the sky and innovations and having, like it's not really creation for the construct, but it's like the like think of the light bulb going off, like I have an idea, right? Like that's an intuitive visionary. Adore that. We are insatiable about the questions. We are constantly saying yes to new opportunities. We're typically over our skis, right? So for us, that feminine flow, super edgy, super expansive, super yes to the opportunities. Our big thing is about really connecting to the center of ourselves. Because if we connect to, if I ground an intuitive visionary, they're sad, right? Like, so I always talk about centering. I talk about balancing. Every once in a while, depending on who the person is, I'll talk about grounding. But right now, it's really about going in and really being in that balanced flow, because the way we like to flow with the earth is more like water. Like we don't necessarily, like you don't want to root me in a tree, because in the rooting the tree, I'm all up at the outer branches, like, and I'm like, roots. I don't. What are roots? Like, who wants to go into the roots?
You just showed me a bobber. You know how like a bobber when you're in the water and the bobber has to go whoop whoop and then it gets balanced?
Yeah.
That's what you were just showing me.
So surfing in the waves, right? Like, so that's what, so the intuitive visionary, in order for us to be able to get into that place where we can construct things, where we have that commitment, where the people can catch up to us, because we're always 20 years ahead. So this is what I'm talking about. That end of 2020, we were like, oh my God, finally everybody's caught up. But some of us are like, okay, I don't care, I'm going to go off 20 years again. But a lot of us are like, oh, now we can become those visionary leaders. We can help you. We can really deliver what we've known so far. Let's get the value exchange, because this makes so much sense. Gee, to be seen, heard, and recognized is beautiful, because we're going to talk about visibility. I'm teeing that up. So what does that mean? Well, we have to stand still a little bit. Like, okay, so in the spring, I'm going to skip practical. In the spring, I had set out to manifest speaking engagements. Well, by the end of June, I had 35. I think I'm up to 50 now. I mean, people, I just literally, every single time I get off something, somebody's like, can you do my podcast? Can you do this? Can you do, I mean, I have so many, and you know me, I'm an intuitive visionary. I said yes to all of them.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Of course you
Of
did.
course I did. So thankfully for me, I have wise strategists helping me out, so that I can make sure we have the systems in place and that we have the things in place. Because yeah, for me, I'm going to be on sticky notes. I'm going to be like, sure, this is an amazing opportunity, and it's going to go right on my desk. I won't forget. I'll show up. Yeah. Okay. So you can feel that energy. Okay. Let's move to the collaborative explorer and the ruling warrior. Okay, beautiful. Collaborative explorer is beautifully feminine in the connection, like really loves to expand and to be able to flow. It's all about, there's a something larger than myself. There's a bigger like, it's like, what is it, 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing. The sum of the parts is greater than, no, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So the collaborative explorer literally has like antennas, but it's basically like connecting. It's like basically like almost like a connecting signal out to people. So it's not so much
that just started to spin and it just started to expand out and twirl in the stars.
I love that. I love that. Collaborative explorers, they have had to make a lot of adjustments, but it's so interesting because they're the ones, I mean, 2024 was all about collaboration, right? So 2025 is all about connections, and it's breaking through to you in order to be able to connect. And so we can think about connection to other people, but we can connect to ourselves. We can connect to resource. We can connect to, what, like, our intuition, right? So it's going to be a beautiful, luscious, no, it's not, I'm lying. It's going to be a fiery, chaotic,
Thank you.
it's going to be fiery and chaotic. That's fine. Over the winter, though, in Northern Hemisphere, so that Q4 2024, Q1 2025, there is going to be suppression, right? And so our minds cannot like that, because we like to grow. We like to think that we're going out and going forth. For the collaborative explorer, and really for all of us, but the collaborative explorer is going to enjoy that. Why? Because even though they like to connect to people, they don't necessarily want to be in the center. Again, they have that feminine energy really beautifully developed, but their internal, like that compass, that direction, the taking time for themselves isn't really even turned on.
Right.
Yeah. Can you feel that?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So for collaborative explorers, in order for them, I've been really urging them to put themselves, ask themselves what they desire, really go in. How can they be appreciated? How can they take the leadership role in order to be able to be positioned for 2025? Because in Q4, I'll go through those actually when we go through visibility. But they are going to be making adjustments right now in order to be able to be perfectly positioned. They're not going to be able to be positioned in a place without being swept up in that fire if they don't get their masculine, like, terra firma down.
Yeah, I just see like chakra 1 is glowing and just needs to be just this. But then it's also tied to the voice. So it's
Yes.
that and then the voice. And then now I have the heart glowing as well. So it's the grounding, using your voice with your heart.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Because when we go to the ruling warrior, again, the opposite of that masculine is so incredibly strong. The ruling warrior, again, loves to connect, but doesn't really love to connect to others, loves to connect to their goals, their quests, their discoveries, their next summit, right? So they're constantly moving forward. They really like the action. They're going to adore the fire of 2025, but they're going to loathe, like viciously loathe, that end of Q4 and the beginning of 2025, because they are so sick. Like right now, I have so many ruling warriors in our client roster, and they're all aggravated. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Like, none of them are watching this, by the way, because they wouldn't have waited the 15 minutes it took us to get online. No, not even. And an hour? Absolutely not. There's no way, right? So they're very much about that production, about that achievement, about that success. And so for them to soften, for them to melt, those are the words I use with them, to melt, for them to be playful and fun. And they're wildly generous when they tap into that side of themselves.
Mm,
So can you even feel the ruling warrior energy?
yes.
Okay. What does it feel like?
Do you know, here's the word, and I'm almost like,
That's okay.
narcissism is the word that I just keep seeing, and I'm like, there's got to be something with that.
Yeah.
But then when I push that word aside, I see a big like rod, and they were like, boom, like a big walking stick, or like a
Yeah.
really big, like, boom. Very protection of themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
Gonna lift this up a little bit.
totally different than all the other ones. But and narcissism, I mean, it's, yes, it has this connotation, but I think there's something to be gleaned from that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so it is, so it's so interesting because they are playful and they are generous, but they have to really give themselves permission for that.
Okay.
So it takes a while to crack through. And think about it, we all have these defense mechanisms that have kept us safe and have kept us, they've really served us well. But now again, in this new era with these new energies, they're not serving us the way that they used to. So that's not really working out for them. So I'm constantly talking about, I use the word vulnerable and they want to punch me in the face. That's fine. And then I use the word engaging those. And then when I talk about that melting and dissolving, they literally, the hand comes up. But when I talk about playfulness and generosity, it's really amazing.
And they're curious about that. They're like, ooh.
And I have to tell you, they are the most magnificent hosts. We're going to talk about that with visibility. They are, unparalleled with hosts. They are so gracious. They are so incredibly sharing of compliments. They're amazing. So that's wonderful. Okay, I think I've got a better position now instead of looking at my chin. Okay, so let's go into the next two, of which you are one. Loving Alchemist. We're going to go into Creative Superstar and Loving Alchemist. So that Creative Superstar has more of that feminine flow. The Creative Superstar is the one who has all the antennas outside their body, all of them. They are so incredibly locked into the creation cycle of the universe. They've known for eons about the spiral of creation, that things aren't linear. They require a lot of cycles and flow. And I don't like to use the word balance with them because there's a stillness there. They like that sinking into solitude and then reaching out, and then sinking back into solitude and then reaching out. They have a very original way of gaining their appreciation of their own value. And it really requires them to accept that everybody's unique, but the creative superstar needs to be very, very obvious about it. So how do you feel their energy?
I was like, I saw the little kid with the crown and like his own, like his or her little star that they made out of like cardboard and then tinfoil, and then I see the do 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 like I'm gonna go up and get the stars, and then I saw Wonder Woman.
I love that. Oh my God, I love that because again, imagine how amazingly impactful the creative superstars will be when they commit to themselves for consistency.
Yep.
And so that's that fine piece of that masculine energy that will really serve them. I've been telling them all year to be telling their story, to get that head and that heart aligned, because their belly, like, they get it. They're sensorial. They feel everything. They recognize that there's not a development there that's required. If I were to just sink them into their root, they wouldn't have the expression piece. They wouldn't have the connection piece with other people. They wouldn't be able to convey their value. So all through 2024, I've been urging the creative superstar, let's let people see behind the scenes. Let's tell them about your creations, like really share your story about how you've come up with what you've come up with, because people will be fascinated. And then that puts you in that value equation versus somebody, the creative superstars like the Pied Piper. They will put everybody else in the value equation, but they won't put themselves in.
Right. I'm seeing almost hand, like black and white sketches that lead to the final product, and they don't want to show the sketches, but we're all fascinated on how they got the final product, and we're like, you're brilliant, we'd love to see your process. And they're like, no, I don't want to show it. But then they show them, and you're like, oh my gosh. And you see the erase marks, and you see that they did this, and and then they erased it, and then they went in a different direction, and then it came to the final product, and it's just like
100%, right? Like, I mean, I even now I want to know all the stories about it, right? So yeah, I mean, I love the imagery that you have. And then Loving Alchemist, my friend, my dear Loving Alchemist. You are powerful as everything, right? So I adore Loving Alchemist. So intuitive visionaries and Loving Alchemists really can jive together if the intuitive visionary will allow that male energy to be powerful, because that's the thing. Intuitive visionaries are secret powerhouses, right? Loving Alchemists are secret, like, literally magicians, like I mean, sorceress, like enchantress, like priestess, like goddess. Like, honestly, it's amazing, right? So the intuitive visionary will be floaty away, and then Loving Alchemist will be like, I'm going to belt you in the face because I don't understand you, because you're just like, where. But when they can meet in that water, when they can really meet in that power flow, then they're like, oh, okay, we can do all these things, right? Don't you feel that?
yes, you just showed me your energy ball and my energy ball. We come together and we're like juggling them together, and we're like, ooh, oh, okay, that's fun.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So when we're talking about the Loving Alchemist, let's let them be pure in their energy for a handful of moments. There is a masculine tendency that doesn't seem, because when we talk about that goddess, that creation, that really beautiful mastery of magic, that magistry that you have, but there's that construction, earthly construction of it that comes immediately. So it's so simultaneous. That's where you get that physical evidence of it. Because when you put your intentions into something, you have the ability to manifest like that. Like when I talk to loving alchemists about money, about power, about success, about really about anything, once they're aligned, boom, 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 immediate.
The
It's
whole getting in a line, though, mm, that's the step that I think a lot of loving alchemists might have that challenging with. But once you, this is great, and then it's this, and then woo.
yeah, 100%. And a lot of loving alchemists, as they were growing up, made people feel uncomfortable because you just know things, and
Yep.
you wouldn't, and you're really powerful. So people were probably a little bit, I'm going to even say the word disturbed by that. They
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
handle it, right? So you boomerang things like that. When we talk about money with the loving alchemist, that's mostly what I go into. I go into nope, let's not boomerang that anymore. Let's let it come in. Let's really let it come in. Let's let you be as powerful as that money is, so that you can grow together. And there's that alignment, and then you just make bank. It's beautiful. Yep.
Teachers had a hard time. I mean, if you just go back to
Yeah,
totally.
100%. 100%. So we're going to dive into visibility right now, because I didn't do a proper introduction. I mean, we it was like we tumbleweeded into this live, everybody. So who's ever here now and on the replay, it's all good. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and adore you. And if you have any questions, again, put them in the comments. We'll absolutely come back. So when we are looking at this energy that's coming in, I'm with the perfect person, Kelly, because Kelly Wagner is the owner, founder, CEO of the Edge Network. And so she is, with her team, is so lovingly creating an entire platform for people to be visible. See, I can't even say it, to be totally visible. And so you've got your magazine, you have your experiences, you're doing interviews. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So when you think about from a visibility perspective, we're going to go through each one of these signatures, and we're going to talk about it through the lens of the Edge Network, and then also through the lens of visibility itself. And I'm going to go in a little bit more detail about, why this is so important to each one of these signatures, because when I look at Q4, each one of them has a visibility component. And I didn't realize it when I had written these, because I wrote these I wrote these like this time last year. Right. So but now we've gotten here, and now it's like other energies that weren't so amplified are coming to be. And anything we went through the gate, and we had free will, and we either really expanded something, or we suppressed it, that then informs us in more detail, with more texture and layers, how we really want to come to the next energies. So
Why is visibility so important right now in this new energy? Because I think that's one thing that I'm feeling that people might be asking, like, okay, why is visibility so important? Because visibility is visible,
yeah,
in different phases, whether it is your business, whether it is your personal life, whether it's in finances, whether it's being a parent. I mean, there's all these different ways that we can be visible. And I just kind of answered my own question, but I'd love to know your take on that as well.
yeah, no, 100%. Because think about this. Those of us who are looking to push the edges, right? Looking to expand, looking to make impact. You can use the word success. I'm going to business this a little bit. You can use the word success. You can use the word, even if you're in a philanthropic realm, you want to have more reach, right? Like, so, or if you're like pent up with all the energies, and you want to be able to expand on your own thought leadership, or your experience or expertise, we're all getting pressure from the stars for that. We're basically getting pressure from the stars to show up.
Yep.
Show up.
Right.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So, and I love how you talked about visibility, because you're right. It doesn't have to be doing this live, right? We always think of like, oh, we're going to be visible. I need to do a reel. I need to do a live. I need to have more audience. I need to send out more emails. That's not it. There are different ways to be visible, and we're going to talk about that. We talked about this on your Edge Network last week, and I think the week before, when we were talking about there is that showing up and really owning your value, because that's a big piece of it. So you can hide and obfuscate by not being clear. You can hide and obfuscate by underselling. You can hide and obfuscate by delivering a lot of free things. You can hide by not delivering any free things. You can price yourself out of the marketplace, right? You can hide, and you can blame it on the algorithms on social media. You can hide and not do anything in person. I mean, there's so many ways that you can just not show up for yourself, for your family, for, I mean, really everything, right? So
Right.
Pluto is also in that Aquarian mode because she's so cuspy, is really getting rid of all of the, and I am going to say it, which I don't usually use the word, that patriarchal artifice that we've had for a millennium or 10, and allowing us that vulnerability of being a little raw.
Yeah.
And yeah, whole. We're seeing parts of ourselves that we've been denying for, I mean, literally, anthropologically, probably, right? So now here we come out and we're like, oh my God, like, what does this feel like? You know, think about a crab when the shell goes off, right? And all of a sudden it's like a bucket of ooze right on the beach. That's us.
Well, and this is a really important step in our process to
Yes.
find our soul destiny, to jump into next as we're setting up our next year and our next 3 years. I
Yeah.
really, whether I just keep saying it, whether you're in medical school and you're trying to figure out what your specialty is going to be, whether I mean, whether you're looking, you have a new project or a new opportunity at your work, or you're thinking about starting a business. I mean, this is what we're talking about today is so important on so many different levels to different people, no matter where you're at in your adventure of life. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Absolutely right. So when we think about, like, I'm going to start, I always start with a wise strategist. So I go down, like, we're going to do the mind, we're going to do the heart, we're going to do the will, the know, like, trust. That's how I always do this. And so with a wise strategist, they're really being pressed in Q4. So think about it, October 1st to, the end of the year. It's connection time, it's outreach time, it's networking time, it's referring, it's engaging. And when they do that, they come out of their own shell, and it's really vulnerable for them because they like to be in control. They like to know, like, the 12 steps that they need to do. They like to know the whole feeling of something, they like to see the whole picture, right? When I say to a wise strategist 80-20 rule, they really get sad, because I'm like, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're talking about the process, right? Yeah, they don't like that. But it's true. And they're really getting pressed for that because in 2025, they are going to be like burning up their over attachment to those lists and the doing all the things. And they're really going to give up being subservient to their work, right?
Right.
Because they are. And they're going to be stepping into because they're natural leaders. Like, their secret is like they're natural leaders. So they want to be able to create those opportunities. Now, from a visibility perspective, and this is where we're going to go into the Edge network too, writing is their best way to be visible, because
Yep.
think about it, they can control that process,
Yeah.
right? And if they are going to do something where they're actually showing up in person and talking, then having a series is better. So for you, think about this. What would you say for them in the Edge network to do?
Contribute articles that you're a thought leader and that you're well versed in, and you're comfortable. This is not okay. So let me ask you, would this be the time for them in the challenge of that visibility is to lean in with something new, that like a new knife to sharpen, or is this to go back to what you're comfortable in and you're in full flow, that it just comes out and you're in that?
That's an excellent question. I would say from their own particular value and what they want to talk about, I feel that that's where they want to have that revisitation, because the knife to sharpen is to be out there and to be exposed, if you will, as a contributor.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And if they have been writing, then their knife to sharpen would be to be in the directory. Right? Because think about it. If you're in the directory, if you're doing an ad, you have to be so crystal clear.
You do.
Right, and that clarity be really beneficial to the wise strategist. So okay, next for
Okay.
intuitive visionaries, they are really wanting to be focusing on, I could say we really want to be focusing on more of those masculine trends of focus, of reason, of rationale, of putting like the pin in things, adding the density of things, adding the texture to the offerings. This isn't the time to be going off and gathering all new things. So if any intuitive visionary is doing that, it's probably not yours. If it is yours, it only if it informs what you're already doing and can roll into something into your stack, like your product or offering stack. That's the best way to say it. Anything new, It can be a revisiting something that you've done and that didn't really work out before, because you can really fine tune that. But this is not the time for new, because for next year, you're going to be massively set up in the best possible way in Q2 of 2025 if you don't run around like a lunatic for the next 5 months or 7 months, whatever it is. Okay. Visibility. Okay. Because I must say, full disclosure, I am in the Edge Network, and anytime Kelly and I are always like, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, I've never said no. I will never say no. I just told my fitness instructor that this morning. I said, if you tell me to do something, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm always in the yes, constant yes, right? So what is my, I'm contributing to the print magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm contributing to the digital magazine, right? I'm doing ads. I'm in the directory, I think.
You're in the directory.
We're going to do commercials.
Doing commercials.
And we're doing lives. And I'm on the Edge
live.
Network with some of your other people.
Yes. That's a yes to the yes to the yes to the yes.
Yay!
And they all complement each other. And that's what's beautiful about the Edge Network, is that sometimes it's meeting people where they're at. So some people, I don't know why, but people are loving print. And if people think print is dead, they're wrong, because print's not, right?
Tell your number. I'm going to invite you to say your numbers, my friend, because they're so impressive.
We are printing over 100,000 copies a year. We're in 30 states, and then we're also in Canada. I mean, it is just growing and growing and growing. People are finding us and asking to be drop spots and subscribing. And we're getting, I mean, we're even in Mount Shasta. We're in Sedona. We're in all these beautiful places that our audience is. It's my distributor the other day, I'll tell everyone this live, is he wants to put me in a bunch of grocery stores because people need to grocery shop. And he wants to go in these large, big box ones. And I just feel this resistant to it, because the Edge is really in this. Now, I'm in some great areas, and we're growing in smaller towns, because I think people are really curious, and they're just Googling, and they're going on Facebook or TikTok. And that's just, there's misinformation out there. The Edge is a trusted platform. It is tried and true. It's 30 years old. And we're really, we don't just let anybody contribute and be a part of it. And there's discernment there. And
I love that.
I want to work with, and people that are and we experience. We read the books we recommend, right?
Yeah.
We try the products that we're talking about. Like, we're really doing this. We're living it. This is our world.
I love it. Oh my God, I love that. So yeah, because it feels to me that for you to have that curation of your content, you want that curation of your audience. Yeah, because what I was seeing with some of those big, huge stores is that they would just be like literally like lining in like I just don't want to even upset you right now, but like in a box or in the trap, like
right?
No, absolutely not.
In this beautiful part of town that's very diverse. And my distributor's like, Kelly, I know I could get rid of 2,000 of them per issue. And I'm like, okay, great. Your desire is to get the numbers there. How many of the people are going to actually engage with my partners and my directory and my advertisers? And he looked at me like, I don't know. And I'm like, I want to put it in the hands of the people that are curious. And then they look at it and they're like, this is the Edge I trust. I'm calling this person, and I'm calling this person. And
I love that. I love that, because think about it, because when we get to Loving Alchemists, we're going to expound on this too, because you love those curated, deep connected audiences and places, right? So that's just energetically aligned with you. For you to just be everywhere, that just wouldn't work. So I love that. I appreciate that. I'm not so much about the numbers, although they're wildly impressive, and thank you for sharing. I am more about watching and looking at the people that you've introduced me to, and the ones I've been able to do interviews with, and we're formulating collaborations and doing things together. I mean, that's the goal, right? So, because we're going to go into Collaborative Explorer right now, but I'm always going to say yes.
But here's something I want to say, and anyone that works with me, we put our directory. Most people put their directory in the back of the magazine. I put it right in the middle. I want people to open it up and see the directory. I carry a Sharpie with me at all times, because this is my go-to, and I'm talking to people all the time, 24 hours a day, almost all the time, weekends, daytime. Like, people are asking me. Today I was in a call the lady's like, oh, I need this, this, and this for my daughter. And I went, hold on, let's get the directory out. Grabbed my Sharpie and said, we'll go to this person, this person, this person, this person. And she's looking at me with these resources. And it's beautiful. And they're trusted people. And I'm like, I'm an ambassador for our partners, and it's
I
just an
love
honor.
that.
And that's why I don't want to just go in a grocery store.
Exactly. No, 100%. And this is where the collaborative explorer, they want to join groups that and ecosystems that are meaningful, because then they know, because even though they have that, outer kind of connective, kind of call to people, they want to be calling the right people, and they want those people to be able to say yes to them, right? So for them in Q4, it's time for them to step in the spotlight. They are not happy about this at all when I talk about it with them. But it's okay, because they're going to be exploring their edges more in 2025, even though 2024 has been so edgy. And for them, if they're not speaking their own mind and letting other people know what their gifts are and how talented they are, and their superpower is to understand how to make connection and do collaborations, wouldn't it be amazing if they took the leadership role? We would be so much better off as an entire world if that were the case. So I keep saying to them, your time is now, right? And so through 2025, it's like they're going to be doing trainings and workshops and webinars if they say yes to this. But for you, like, honestly, for collaborative explorers in your world, it's best for them to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
It's best for them to be on
Because
panels.
sometimes you have to do a little bit of this with them. And what I see energetically, and I'm just a picture girl, I see they have scarves on, scarves. And
Okay.
they're not, and they're it's either that protecting that chakra or protecting their voice. And normally the scarves is that their voice isn't heard. But then when you started to say that, they all started to take their scarves off and throw them and go, okay. And they're like, oh, this feels kind of weird. I don't have my scarf on. But then they're like, oh, this is great. I've got this. And it's creating a safe space like the Edge Network for them to be interviewed. I have so many people, you're not one of them, but so many people that go, I'm so nervous about going live, or I'm so nervous about this. And then we have our conversation. They're like, well, then I can't get them to shut up. Like,
Yeah.
then like, this was so much fun. When can we do this again? And I'm like, okay, I promise you. And that's one thing that you and I are very good is creating that safe space for people to be
Yeah.
able to let this happen.
Yeah. So for you, for collaborative explorers and anybody else that works with them, if they're in your client deck, which I have so many clients that have their entire universe take the quiz so that they know, right? So super helpful. So for the collaborative explorer, before they show up on a live or right at that minute that they do, for them to have their sound bites, for them to have their calls to action, for them to have their, where they're, what they want to emphasize, they won't have it. They won't have it ready.
No, and that's also what I'll do before shows. What are the 3 things that we need to cover today? And you can tell these ones because they're like, I don't know. Are you serious? You're showing up on this and you don't know the top 3 things we're going to talk about? Okay, I'm pulling it out of you. I'm pulling it
Yeah.
out of you. And then they
Mhm.
go, oh, that's so fantastic. And then we get gold.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And then I would say, as my clients, I say, but did you go back and curate that? Because you can then use that. This is something that, if you're doing this live and in real time, then let's make sure that you're wearing that, right? And that you can, for the next time, you already have it. Because it is so interesting that these pairs of these signatures, they are not quite the antithesis of each other, but kind of, because then the ruling warrior gets on and it's like, okay, I've got the 3 things, I've got all the things, I know exactly what I want to do. Let's go. And they almost lead the interview, whether they're the host or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've interviewed many of those.
I bet. So it's so interesting to me because with them, what I talk about, like, let's have your own stage. Let's make sure that you are not competing with the host, because it's not a competition, right? The host, be great, because again, they have this beautiful generosity. They just want to make sure that this is where the generosity comes in. They want to make sure their audience gets what they're promised, right? So they're going to be almost pedantic about that. Like, did we hit the 3 tips? Did we do the 3 things? I said I was going to do that. And so if the host is not a good host, they're just kind of lead the discussion. Not kind of, they're absolutely going to lead the discussion, but it actually benefits the audience but if the host is really good, then they have this beautiful parlay and they have this unbelievable energy going on. And I bet they impact people together, as a ripple effect crazily, because that's what ruling warriors are really good at, the ripple effect. They're
Oh
amazing.
gosh, I've been a bad host where they grab the mic and I just let them run with it. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll just let me know when we're at the 60 minutes. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's this refinement of being a good host and learning how to be a good host. But oh yeah, there's people that grab the mic and they just won't let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, yeah, right. So for the ruling warrior in your world, when you get the live TV, because we talked about that. Yeah, we have a little bit, right? Like, yes, stages at your in-person events, allowing them to shepherd, because they're such amazing mentors. And if you
Yeah.
put people under their purview, so say you have like Art on the Edge that you just had, right? And you had 80 vendors and you had 1,500 people in, right? That was just a week and a half ago. Imagine if you had a ruling warrior that you had said, hey, you know what? Can you take care of all the crystal vendors? Or can you take care of all the people that are going to be doing the next 5, kind of, I don't know if you had a stage there. I don't think so. I think that was more your March event, but like, and you helped them. Can you help them be in the green room before they come on? They'd be all over it. They would be
Oh,
so amazing at it.
I even gave one their own little side event within our event in our March event because I saw and I was like, you just go. And they
Mm-hmm.
rocked it on every single level. They rocked it. They filled the room. They just did it. And we just gave them this beautiful space and they loved it.
I love that. I love that, because let's go to creative superstars now, right? So I am mindful of time. We are quote, technically, I wanted to get everybody, we're at the bottom of the hour, but we started 15 minutes late because we had 72 live events to get to work, and cameras that didn't work. It's fine, right? And that's going to be my mantra this week. It's fine. It's totally fine. Creative superstars. They're not going to be totally knocked off center. I think that's the best way for me to say it, in Q4 and Q1 of 2025. They're going to be overwhelmed though by the time we get to Q2 2025, if they don't allow themselves to have those stories and all the things we just talked about beautifully.
Yeah.
So for right now, from a visibility perspective, any creative superstars in your audience that's looking for visibility, really tease them. What are your behind the scenes? How do you come up with your creations? Can you share a story about that? That will help get them more comfortable, because here's the thing, they are so good about teaching. They're so good about informing.
They don't even know they're so good at it. It just flows out of them.
It's amazing. Whereas a lot of the signatures are too, like, wise strategists are very good teachers too, but they're going to be teaching you how to do things. They're going to be very linear about it. Creative superstars are going to be more entertaining about it. Like, they're just more like, there's like edutainment is like perfect for them, right? So any place that you can put them where they're able to teach a little bit, right? So asking them those leading questions. They don't want to write. They're not going to contribute to a column. They're not going to be in your print magazine unless they do it once, a one and done. If you did like a whole kind of panel, or like, not really panel, like for well, like if you did a topic, I think that would be a better way to say it, and you just wanted to highlight, and hey, it's just going to be in the October, November, magazine, like that kind of stuff. They would never be able to. They don't like consistency. So
Yeah.
they would not be the ones to be like, okay, I am going to have this regular monthly thing, or bi-monthly in the print and monthly in the digital. Mm-mm. They're your event people though. They're amazing event people. So good at it. So good at it. And then for the loving alchemists. So, I've been talking to loving alchemists, like 2024 is your year, because you're so incredibly centered, and core energy is so strong that those edges just help you expand, right? That edginess of 2024 has knocked most of the signatures kind of out of alignment a little bit, but not the loving alchemist. You guys are like, I got this. I can see my pathway through. It's almost like whoosh, things are being moved away and you're getting clear, like things that are clear. Have you been feeling that?
I have been. And I've also, any of my obstacles that have come up this year, I've just really realized that there are for optimal outcomes is the best way to describe it.
Yep. Okay.
If something kind of happens, I'm like, okay, take a step back and let's look at this rather than, oh my God, I want to panic. I'm just like, okay, that happened for a reason. Okay,
Yeah.
let's look at it from all these different views where I normally would be like, ah.
I love that. Okay. I loved all the sound effects. That was perfect.
That was
That was
good.
totally perfect. So here's the beautiful thing about Loving Alchemist. So I had written all of my visibility and PR lenses for the signatures in 2021. So I just wanted to say that I was working with a PR firm. I was in her group. I was teaching all of her clients about what their signatures were. I was helping them. I was helping her. I mean, so I just want to say that because literally now, and I'm just looking at notes because it's been so long, right? So I know the energies of it, but I wanted to be a little bit more, practical and like really, really physical about like in the platform that you have and in the PR platform itself. So I'm looking at this, and any and all PR opportunities are excellent for Loving Alchemists. I love that. And so it makes so much sense why you have a platform, right? Like it just makes so much sense. So I just wanted to just honor you for that and just love all up on that. So it's interesting that, for Loving Alchemists that don't have their platform, to recognize that you like those smaller, more intimate engagements. You like it when you do have a series and you can be on a podcast versus a 3-minute commercial. Right. So for you, I know like you have beautiful commercials and things, but I bet you don't enjoy them as much as doing the longer conversations. Yeah.
Oh, I almost get bored, even though it's like 32 seconds.
Yeah. So the other thing with Loving Alchemist is to ensure that you do the spin the gold. And I know that you've been doing that. Kelly, I know that you guys take the clips after and you guys, post them different places. It's really important for the Loving Alchemist to do that because your energies are so powerful that people might not be able to digest the full hour. You know what I mean? Like they might need to have a little bit of a different rhythm. So getting you in those short clips is really, really important.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So for anybody else, again, Loving Alchemist, you adore those longer things, but then ensure that you have a facility to be able to grab that beautiful quote, to be able to highlight it on its own, because there is this lightness that's required during Q4 of 2024, especially. And I've been telling you all year to create your own stage. So within the Edge network, you can create your you have, and you're beautiful at, you're like the magnification, like amplification of that energy because you've been doing this and you have such a reach. For those the Loving Alchemists who don't, if you've been thinking about, I've got a lot of things to say, I want a place to say it, or at writing, speaking, videos, teaching, whatever, create a beautiful small community for yourself and allow you to be the owner of it. That is beautiful because in 2025, you have a beautiful launching point because you're going to be unwavering in 2025, just like you've been in 2024. So the Loving Alchemist is building and building and building and building and building beautifully.
Just letting everybody know that Kim gave me this advice, and then a week later, my YouTube channel was pulled down. So build your own stage, build your own stage, build your own stage. And I also want to just share with everybody, Kim's also behind the Edge Network. We were just a print magazine that had a website, a little bit of social, and a little that. We are having pillars of experiences and digital and print, and they all harmonize together and they all complement together. And I have to say, thank you, Miss Woods.
You're welcome, baby. Because the work that I do is when I meet your energy and I open up your full potential, I am going to land the right business model for you. And when people are with me, they say yes. And we're pulling together those 3 beautiful pillars of those experiences in person and online. We're putting this beautiful, that network of the print and the digital and the amplification of the ads and the directory and things like that. And then the gorgeous interviews that you're having. So Kelly's providing voice and visibility for people. So it's amazing. It's beautiful. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So we've gone through Q4. We've gone through a little bit of 2025. We've gone through each one of the signatures and we've gone through visibility. So check.
We hit it.
We hit it. So tomorrow I will set up whatever I need to set up early in the day to make sure everything works, because this has never happened. That's fine. Again, I don't know what, it's fine. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about really going through, we are going to touch on money in the new era. We're going to touch on that diamond core of life that we did. We're going to touch on how to uncover your wealth in astrology. And we're going to touch on like a little bit about 2025. I feel like 2025, we've really opened, but like, why are we doing things now? Why is it so important now? Not going to belabor the stars on that. Not going to overly belabor the timing on that. I want to open up more about the signatures and come up with some strategies, like one or two for each one of those things, for each one of those
Would
signatures.
you put your money event that you did in June as a part of the notes for this show? Because that could be something for people to check out before tomorrow if they wanted to.
Yeah, it's gated now.
Oh, sorry, guys, didn't mean to tease. It was
Yeah,
really
no,
if it's
no, you
gated
didn't know
now,
that. You didn't
then
know that. What we, yeah, no, I did. I totally gated that. So this,
it's worth it. Tell people about it, please.
yeah, so I did a three series, kind of like this 3 hours over 3 days at the beginning of June because the energies were really, really wonderful. And it was free, it was available. We probably did promotion for it for 2.5 months. We had 1,000 people saying they were going to come up, and 40 showed up. Yep, it's totally fine. Out of those 40, they did stay for the 3 days. We went through, again, all the signatures. Like we went through that mind, heart, will. We went through removing limiting beliefs. We went through clearing blocks. We went through the ancestry declare blocks. We went through like decision making and self care and visibility. Oh, that's when the visibility piece started. I forgot about that. And then I did ritual for each one of the series. Again, totally free. And people in the first week created $290,000.
290,000, you guys, and that's only 40 people. Like,
40
imagine if 500 people showed up, or even all the 1,000 that said they would. I mean,
I
just think,
know.
we would have been in the seven figures
Oh,
for
easy. I
impact.
mean, oh my God, so easy. And that doesn't even count. I had so many people say, I got 3 clients. I just got 4. And I don't know how much I'd have no much idea what their offers are. Like, so that's on top of it. Like literally clients were raining from the sky for people. I left,
Ancestor clearing was tremendous for me. That was huge
which
because
was, I missed it. Sorry.
with the ancestor clearing
Oh
of
yeah.
abundance and money, and like, oh my gosh, like, because I knew that it trickled in for me, and that was just like, it all clicked. And I think that was like mid the 3 days. It was like,
Yeah, that was the second day.
oh.
Yeah, because then the third day, the reason, well, now I know why it needed to be closed like that, because even though it was free, because I wouldn't have done, I mean, I did a whole massive healing on that third day, so much so that I said to people, don't do anything for like 3 more days, right? So, and that's in the course now. That's part of my event bundle that we're offering. Do you know that I left that open and free for a month and a half? We've had maybe 10 more people come in. I just offered it to someone in a summit, in Lionsgate Summit. We had 45 people. I don't know if they're going to do it, but we gave it away to 45 other people. So we're in that like 80 to 90 people. Yeah, we'll see. So this is where I am developing that affiliate program and doing all the things. And this is part of the bundle.
It's an amazing one. I just wanted to call out for it because
No,
it was.
so thank you. Yeah, we weren't going to talk. I didn't. Yeah, this isn't a sales thing. We're just talking
Oh
about that.
no, I totally just threw you into it. I was just like, we're doing this. We're doing this
Yeah,
because it's impact, and part of why we're doing this is to share tips, tricks, and tools with the people that are engaging with us and connecting with us, because there's a lot of value that you and I both provide in different levels and together.
Yeah, 100%. So if you are interested in anything, and I will share the link tomorrow, it's kimwoods.com/events. There's a 4 workshop bundle that each one is 3 hours or 3 parts if it's on demand now. Each one has like a 30-page guide. Each one is worth at least $300 each. So I have the total value of like, I don't know, $1,100 or $1,200, whatever it is. And I'm offering it for $297 for the next few weeks. Yeah. So even though it's gated, it is, I mean, it is still,
The
and
rituals alone, everybody, the rituals alone. Just saying,
yeah,
right?
I mean, why am I doing this? Because I am so sick of talking to people about money. I mean, I adore you all, but I'm sick of it.
Oh,
We,
as a psychic medium, people are just like, oh, am I ever going to do this and that? It's love and money. Those are the two things everyone. And I'm just like, well, you got to stop doing this to do this. But no one wants
exactly.
to hear that. So you like handed them this on a silver platter, a beautiful gift, and it's totally worth it. And because they can replay it, they can go at their own pace.
Oh,
And
100%.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, no, 100%. Actually, absolutely. So anyway, so there we are. So we're going to give really practical strategies tomorrow. Today was very energetic. Tomorrow's going to be more strategies. This is my formula. We go through the stars, we go through your energy signature, and then we go through your strategies, and that's really how we get all the transformation that we get. So
Okay, Kim, how do people take the quiz just in case they haven't taken the quiz?
Okay,
They will
perfect.
tomorrow.
Preview perfect. Your starmaptosuccess.com. And you can go right there and take the quiz. So I adore you, my friend. We did it. We got the live to work.
We love you, Saturn. We love you. Mwah. I just wanted to go, we proved it. We persevered and we did it. We won it.
Absolutely. So thank you, everybody who persevered with us. Thank you so much. And we will come back to the comments and all the things, and we'll make sure the link is set up perfectly for tomorrow.
And we're right at an hour.
Yeah.